Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. First off, it's directed by Michael Bay, which I know Michael Bay directed the first Transformers movie, and I haven't, and I won't do an unholy rant on that first Transformers movie. But for whatever reason, maybe there was somebody in Michael Bay's ear, or there was somebody who was able to reel him in for that first film. There were some Michael Bay isms, there were some immature jokes. Maybe it worked more because Shia LaBeouf's character was in high school, but for some reason, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, it just amps it up a notch. It just takes everything that probably wasn't great about the first movie and does it times two. For example, it starts off in 17,000 BC, and you see seven primes come together to create this something called the Sun Harvester, and one of them creates the harvester on Earth, and one gets banished because he tried to use it to kill somebody, and him being banished, that's how he became the Fallen. All of these Transformers movies pretty much after this point have done something where the Transformers were on Earth before, even though that contradicts what the first movie said, and they did something historical, and then they leave, and then they come back to have that be reworked into the plot. That's okay to do once, maybe twice in your series, but when all 5 or 6 films have virtually tried to do something like this, it just comes off sad, it comes off lazy. That's how we start this movie. Present day, you see the Autobots are working with the military to capture Decepticons. They're in Shanghai, and this is a decent action sequence just because it's in a different location and because it's cool action. Obviously, these Transformers and that huge thing that's rolling down the road and just destroying everything, it's almost like there's somebody on set, if not Michael Bay himself, who says, let's come up with the weirdest, biggest, most destructive thing ever and have it do damage. Have it do and cause as much damage as you can because we have a budget. And these movies make close to or over $1 billion each and every single time. We get reintroduced, I should say, to Sam Witwicky, who is played by Shia LaBeouf, and he's going off to college. This is a huge moment for him. You see that his girlfriend, Megan Fox, is upset, which I would be more upset if I was Shia LaBeouf, leaving Megan Fox behind. Why is she so upset? He's the one who lucked out. He's the one who practically begged to be with her and get one date with her. Now she's upset that she won't get to see him or talk to him. She does want to talk to him each and every single day. She even arranges meetings, works around his schedule. Like, this is the perfect girlfriend. Not just looks, but yeah, that helps as well. And also, Bumblebee is upset. The moment when he's in the barn dancing, and then he realizes that he's not going with him. Why would you not bring Bumblebee with you? Not just because, hey, it's cool to have a Transformers with you at all times, but you get to drive the car to college and leave it on campus. Like, why is that such a hard concept? Why is that such a negative thing? I don't know. Shea, before he leaves, he finds this small Allspark shard, and when he touches it, it makes some C symbols. Okay. Why? I don't know. What is the small thing? I don't know. All we know is that the Allspark, when it touches other kitchen appliances, it brings them to life. This just came off as a really silly and goofy moment to have these little Transformers running around and doing things and messing with the parents, messing with the house, destroying things. Hardy har har. More of that Michael Bay comedy that isn't funny. And Megatron gets resurrected, which, as much as I like Megatron in the first movie as a villain, as somebody who could come off as a threat for Optimus Prime, this felt a little forced, that he would just get picked up by Decepticons in the ocean where he last was, and he then is almost like an assistant to the Fallen. The Prime from the original movie who was cast out, he is now the leader, the Fallen. So if you're going to do this, if you're going to have the Fallen as the villain, the number one villain, why do we need Megatron here at all? Couldn't we have just left him in the ocean and have him come back for the third movie so that we could have missed him and then have a big moment of him coming back and now wanting revenge? No, we just have to do it and make him an underling because why not? Shia LaBeouf. As much as I liked him in the first movie and as much as I've liked him in other films, the scene where he's in the classroom and because he's seeing those symbols, he acts all weird and all goofy, and he jumps up on stage and he's writing on the whiteboard and he's telling all the people in the class all of these weird wonky things. This is just cringeworthy. It really is. Rewatching this is hard to watch. You almost just want to look away and hope for the best, wait for it to be over, because you're embarrassed for Shia LaBeouf himself for having to act through this. No wonder why in that 24-hour streaming thing that Shia LaBeouf did a while ago, where he sat down in a theater and watched each and every single one of his films, no wonder he either fell asleep or walked out during the Transformers movies, because even he can't stand to watch these movies and his performance in them. You see a Decepticon pretender, I guess what they call them, a Decepticon that's able to change form and look like a human. What? Since when is this an ability that they have? And if it is an ability, why don't they do this more? They do it for this one time. You find this girl, Alice, who's at the college, and she is seducing Shia LaBeouf. And this scene comes off really bad, not just because of the whole this is a robot thing, but for two, it's a forced way Shia LaBeouf has to pretend like, oh no, I don't know what's going on here. And she ends up on bed with him on top of him, but he's supposed to say, oh no, what's going on? Oh wait, please don't touch me, don't kiss me. Megan Fox, who has been fed up by this point, which I guess I skipped over the scene where Megan Fox is in that repair shop and she's wearing short shorts and she's bent over the motorcycle. Not too far off from the scene in the first movie where she's bent over the car, because that's what Megan Fox does best, and I guess that's what Michael Bay likes to emphasize with her best. So she took it upon herself, when she couldn't get a hold of him, to go to the college. She bursts into his room and sees him on the bed with this Alice girl. She gets pissed off. She has a fight with Alice. And I love that this is just glossed over. If my girlfriend caught me in bed with another girl, no matter how innocent I might be, if I didn't physically throw her off of me, if I didn't physically stop her from sitting on top of me, it would be hell to pay. It would definitely be a lot worse than the reaction Megan Fox has, but what can you do? Shia LaBeouf has a roommate who they try to pass off as his friend for the rest of the film, but when they meet, he's just a dick to him, and like he's annoying. This actor, I heard a story that originally this character was supposed to be, or at least the part was offered to Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill was offered this part as Shia LaBeouf's friend, college friend, and he was seriously thinking about doing it because of how big of a franchise Transformers is, and Jonah Hill wasn't at the level that he is now in Hollywood, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it because Seth Rogen gave him advice and said, fuck no, don't do a Transformers movie, you'll regret it, and it will ruin your career. Hey, all I know is that Jonah Hill is doing pretty damn well for himself, and I can't think of the last time I saw this dude who plays the friend in a while. Yeah, he's annoying in the movie, and Jonah Hill maybe would have been funnier and more entertaining to watch, but still not a role that's worth his talent. Megatron captures Shia LaBeouf in this warehouse, and he has this thing that starts taking his insides out. I guess that's connected to that Allspark or whatever the hell. This is just a weird random scene that I guess is gross, and we're just gonna do it because why not? Optimus Prime shows up and has a fight with everyone. There's a chase that goes on, and then Optimus winds up in the woods fighting off as much Decepticons as he can. I can't help but think, where the hell are the other Autobots? Why is Optimus by himself in a situation like this? He's the leader. He should not have been left alone like this. Maybe he shouldn't have even gone in on his own like that. But hey, Shia LaBeouf probably would have gotten killed. So, honestly, when I saw this in the theater, I was pretty upset. In retrospect, it's like, really? You got that upset over this movie? But I was upset to see Optimus Prime get killed by Megatron. It was a sad moment, reminiscent of the cartoon movie where Optimus does die, and it's a whole thing. And you see the military take his body back, and they have this whole thing for him. Decepticons launch these attacks on ships, and they start blowing up landmarks and all around the world. We haven't seen that before. The group goes off to find John Turturro. Remember him from the first movie? The dickhead agent who was all over Shia LaBeouf and wanted to keep everything a secret with the Autobots. Well, now he's out of the system and he's running his own conspiracy thing in a basement somewhere. I thought this was unneeded, unnecessary. I like John Turturro, and bless him for getting a paycheck. But man, this just does not make him look good. It's just overly goofy, overly lame as fuck. With this info, the group goes and finds this Decepticon seeker, Jetfire, at a museum, which I guess he just is able to come back alive and turn on, and he teleports them to Egypt. So now we're in Egypt! Just randomly, we're able to teleport to Egypt. And this is where we see these two racist Autobots. Look, they're not racist themselves. They're not going around yelling racist profanities at anyone. No, themselves are such stereotypes with the gold tooth and the accents that they have and just the over-the-topness. How did this get past the script? How did this make it past the producers? How the hell does a movie with this level budget get away with two characters, robot or not, acting like this? This is offensive, and I'm not somebody who gets offended easily. In fact, I hate the fact that everybody around the world seemingly gets offended as often as they do. But man, this is brutal. Oodle. Watching these scenes, like, this is what you guys think is comedy? Really? These two robots going back and forth and hitting each other and just, oy vey, horrible. We get this action sequence with something called the Devastator, yet another giant, huge robot that's sucking everything up in the world. It's a bunch of robots combined. Yeah, this is just another thing that's like, all right, let's think of another big robot that we can use to just destroy some shit. The Decepticons, for leverage, bring Shia LaBeouf's parents as bait. Seriously? I know the parents were a highlight in the first film. They were funny. They did have their moments, but they had a couple of scenes. This movie has the parents all over the movie at the beginning, especially with the mom. The mom in the first movie, she was the way that she was because I think they said she took her medicine wrong or something along those lines. This movie, she just eats pop brownies and just acts annoying just because hey, people like that in the first movie, so let's just do more of that. Not let's have her be an actual normal person who might be a little goofy, but no, she has to be overly goofy and overly annoying and eventually unlikable. So when the parents do get kidnapped, who cares at this point? Kill them off. Honestly, let's see who would care about that. Oh yeah, let's talk about military characters. Josh Duhamel and Tyrese leading the soldiers in battle. I like these two characters in the first movie, and they're fine here. They're just here to represent soldiers and represent the military in a battle against Decepticons, which, let's be honest, they would have no chance. In real life, there is no fight. There is no battle. You humans surrender. That's the outcome that I see. Megatron almost kills Shia LaBeouf, and it looks like he is dead, in fact. Megan Fox even crying over him. He was practically cheating on you. And she's still visibly upset. That's where you see Shia LaBeouf go to robot heaven. This is real. I'm not making this up. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not just saying this because it sounds funny. This is real life, people. Shia LaBeouf winds up in robot heaven where he meets the prime characters from the beginning who they sacrificed themselves to hide that device. Well, they're here to not only bring Shia back from the dead, but they tell him where the device is that will be used to bring Optimus back to life and then be used to kill the Fallen. So he does. He wakes up. He's fine. He finds the device. They use it. They bring Optimus back to life, which I guess was fine, but a little anticlimactic. He looks like a badass. He kills as many people as he can. He kills the Fallen, which, again, the Fallen ended up being such a lame villain. I sat there and thought, all right, I'd rather either just watch Megatron or give more time to the Fallen so that he's not just some generic character. He's a former Prime that turned bad. Delve into that. Let's talk more about that. Why did he do that? Not just because he wanted power or wanted to do something evil. Like, give me something more. And the fact that Optimus is the only Prime that could kill him. Like, there's some interesting stuff there. It's just nothing done with it. Megatron sees the Fallen die, and he ends up retreating, vowing revenge, which I guess plays into the third movie. Again, you didn't need any of this. You didn't need Megatron here. Hugo Weaving, just a waste of his voice talent. And credits. Boy, do I miss Linkin Park and their songs in these Transformers movies. I like Linkin Park. It was a little nostalgic to hear their music here. So, man, this movie was hard. It was hard to rewatch. I remember being okay with it in the theater, definitely thinking it was less than the first movie, definitely thinking that there was some major issues with certain story beats, certain characters, certain moments, but rewatching it now, holy crap, it does not hold up. It has so many more issues, so many more problems. It's fucking brutal. Don't know if I would say it's the worst Transformers movie. Trust me, it does get worse than this eventually, but I don't know, man. For this to be your sequel, your second film, there is no excuse. I don't care what writer's strike. I don't care how many people. Hell, if you got the janitor to come in and write the script, it should have been better than what I just watched on screen. So guys, let me know in the comments below. Do you hate Transformers Revenge of the Fallen as well? Or do you disagree with any of this rant? Please tell me why. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.